Dissatisfaction certainly doesn't bring up positive emotional realities, I guess. Nobody really wants to be dissatisfied. Nobody's looking for it, or at least healthy people aren't looking for it. But dissatisfaction is a reality of life in any organization, any proceedings, any endeavor of life. There are things that are going to dissatisfy. But here's the way to utilize dissatisfaction positively. In some ways, what it does is it demonstrates to the individual what they are passionate about, or what they care about at least. You're almost never dissatisfied with something you don't care one way or another about. And so when somebody comes to you as a leader and they are expressing to you dissatisfaction about something, one of the things I want you to do is to instantaneously have a switch get flipped in your thinking. Here's a person that cares about this aspect or this part of what we do. So, for instance, in church world, somebody's dissatisfied with how clean the sanctuary is. It's somebody that cares about the facilities. Now, certainly, there's some people that you just cannot please, and that they're just constantly looking for something to complain about. And I've long ago learned that most people who complain a lot aren't doing enough. And that's how they have the time to get in everybody else's business and manage to schedule the meeting with you to come and complain about it. But one of the ways you can turn that meeting into a very useful one is to turn it around on them and to say, it matters to me that we do quality work here. And I can tell it matters to you as well. And I'm very happy about that. Now, the interesting thing here, though, is that you obviously care a lot about, let's say, facilities. And I would be interested in seeing if you'd be willing to show up on one day a week, maybe, and help out in X, Y, or Z area to help us improve so that our overall quality is good. Now, obviously, there are some individuals that you wouldn't want to give access to the building to, and maybe they're complaining. But there's a reality that what you want them to do is then to take some time. I want you to prayerfully consider whether or not this is something God is calling you to do. Then, after you've taken that time, I'd like you to go ahead and call the office and schedule a meeting with me where we can discuss what it is, if anything, that God is calling you to engage in and to do to make sure that we are presenting the best quality programming that we can. Because I believe we're called to do ministry to the excellence and glory of God our Savior. And so what that does is it puts it right back in their court. It means that now it's up to them to take the next step, not you. And the next action item is going to be theirs. Or they don't feel called to do anything, and they don't schedule a follow-up appointment with you, and you've helped to train them to not be a complainer because it doesn't get them what they want. And so, like all of us, people will keep doing what you reward. And so if you give them what they want, you've rewarded that behavior, you'll get more of it. If you actually stroke the ego of the complainer and they see action taken on what they're complaining about, then what you're going to get more of is complaining, not less of it. Now, obviously, there's a whole continuum of individual personalities here. Some people genuinely are highly involved, highly motivated, they care, their quality, they're already doing a bunch, and they happen to mention that something's off, they notice it. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about here. But if they're a complainer, you know it. At least after you've been there for a year, you know it. This is somebody that complains. And so don't feed the complaining spirit. Call them to action. And quite often, at least, they'll stop complaining to you. Now, the other reality of this is it might apply to yourself. Dissatisfaction tells you where you care about stuff. And it can be a great way to start writing things down in your to-do list, letting you know who you need to communicate with. Maybe ministry leaders not doing the quality job they need to be doing. And so you can schedule an appointment to meet with them about it, especially if it's something that's been ongoing. But don't let those things that dissatisfaction brings to your attention or to others' attention than to you, don't let those things go. Make sure that you are improving your organization day in, day out. That's why you're a leader, because you make things better. Dissatisfaction. It's a one word definition of motivation.